Coastal Credit Union, in particular, a guy he walks and talks the walk, and he makes it happen in the community. And we're so happy to be partnered with Coastal, as well as Creighton Blackwell, who heads up this enormous program in the community and does so much for the community. Creighton, welcome to the Sports Shop. How you doing, man?
I'm well. Always.
We're
Thank you for being in the Sports Shop.
This is really your idea, believe it or not. A collaboration of things you had talked about. You guys do such a great job with the student athlete in these schools here in the area. You want to expand that. Talk about why we're here today.
Well, it's a lot about connecting the dots. You all here at the Sports Shop do so much about community, how you talk about it, the entertainment of it, but how you bring that forth every morning, every day. Well, we've had this Scholar Athlete program that we've been doing for over 20 years, recognizing athletes throughout our high schools, throughout the area, and really wanting to spotlight what they do in school, community, on the fields, on the court, all of that. So why not bring those two things together? That's why we're here today, so that we can now take those Scholar athletes, but let's expand on what they're doing in communities. These are some amazing high school athletes throughout our area. Let's talk more about them, those schools, those organizations, the sports they're in, and the communities they touch, because that's what you all do. So what a better match to bring that here today at the Sports Shop.
We are talking to Samantha Sopko, and she is the cheerleading coach of Green Level. Welcome to the Sports Shop.
Thank you for having us.
And we're here to talk about one of your cheerleaders who was selected as the Coastal Scholar Athlete. But today we're going to talk about beyond the field, beyond the court, and what she does in the community. So can you tell me, before we talk about Lexi, what do you do to influence your cheerleaders to have that community aspect?
Well, I feel like just besides being an athlete, it's important to be a great role model. And I think the Green Level cheerleading team does a great job of that. We host mini clinics through the youth each year. Our athletes help out at different events. This past weekend, they helped out at the annual Cross Out Cancer event, which is a lacrosse thing actually that my husband hosts. He's the lacrosse coach at Green Level. And it's 6 games throughout the day where all proceeds are donated to cancer. So the girls were able to volunteer for that, help out however they could. They're really good at that. They help out with Special Olympics. They help out in a class called Peppy, which speaks with the special education program. So they do a really, really good job of that. And they're very well known around our school as respectable women.
Awesome. And so we're here today talking about Lexi Taylor, who was part of the Coastal Scholar Athlete. So tell us a little bit more about Lexi and what leadership skills that you see and what you see in her.
Lexi is very respectable around school, not only in the cheerleading world, in the school world, academics, all of that. She is a great role model, especially to our younger girls, the ones that are coming up. They want to inspire to be like our seniors, and she's a great person to follow in those footsteps of. She's somebody that I can always count on. Whatever I may need or our team may need, as long with her other captain, Grace and Sarah, they do a very good job of bringing the team together in a positive way.
That's awesome. So you've heard a little bit about her. We're talking about Coastal Scholar Athlete
Lexi Taylor, who's the lady of the hour here, but there are other people there here that's part of her support team, and you are co-captain of the cheerleading squad. So we got Grace Lee here. Talk about what impresses you about Lexi.
Well, so Lexi's someone that's been on like our varsity team for all 4 years, and it's really been cool to see her like mature throughout high school, because obviously she was like a little freshman on like varsity as like a little baby, and now she's like been a captain for 2 years now, and I think she's really grown with every single person on the team. Is she's watched classes graduate, and then also new classes come up, and she's just stepped into like a role model, and I feel like we all see each other almost as like sisters almost.
Okay.
So in like that aspect, like an older sister to the whole team.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome. So what do you admire most about Lexi?
I like Lexi's character the most and her kindness, and I feel like she'll give back and like has kind things to say and like give to every single person that she meets, like not just her friends. And she always is very happy and smiling and has a good attitude, and she's funny too.
That's great. That's great.
I think it's fantastic when you as a co-captain working alongside her. Obviously, you bring some skill sets to the table too. So what do you enjoy doing since we got you on the mic?
What do I like to do?
Yeah.
Like in like what aspect?
Like
Just,
in the community, your cheerleader leader here, coach, talked about things you guys do in the community.
Okay.
What are some of the things you enjoy?
So the thing that I'm most connected to is a nonprofit called No Woman No Girl, and the mission is to make sure that no woman or girl in Wake County go without access to everyday essentials. So that's something that I'm really connected to, and I've started the first chapter for at Green Level. And so last year we collected over 1,000 everyday essentials, which is like everything you need to get ready in the morning, like tampons, toothpaste, toothbrushes, shampoo, conditioner, like everything that you kind of take for granted and a lot of women in the community don't actually have. And so through collecting those, and you're able to go out in community outreach events and make everyday essential bags that have 90 days of essentials that you can use and give them back into the community.
I'm glad I asked that question. You're amazing.
Wow.
Grace, thank you so much for sharing
Yeah.
it. And next up, though, obviously, we've been talking about, Creighton has talked about it, Samantha's talked about it, Grace has talked about it. The young lady of the hour, Lexi Taylor, is coming up next.
Yes. Talking to Lexi Taylor, and she's part of the Coastal Scholar Athlete Program. So, Lexi, we're here today spotlighting you because not only what you do as a cheerleader, but what you do off the court, beyond the field. So, tell us why that's important to you.
I think it's really important because it's important to know that someone can be more than just an athlete. So I think getting involved in your community, making sure you do other things besides your specific sport can show that you're a bigger person and that you care more about other things besides just your sport.
So tell us, what are some of the things you do in your community?
One thing that that's really a big part of my life is working with special education kids. So I take a class at my school where we work with the Peppy kids for an hour during the day. And then also for the past 2 years, I've participated in Special Olympics where our school hosts kind of track and field events for those that are disabled. So we kind of help run and organize the whole entire event, which I found that is something that's really close to my heart. And I really enjoy working with the kids and getting to know them. I've also been able to start a club at my school that I called Write a Mini. And this is where we kind of have established pen pal buddies with a 5th grade class, local elementary school. So kids in my club or students in our club will write letters to the elementary school students, and they kind of correspond back and forth. And they kind of serve as a pen pal, a mentor for these kids, because a lot of these kids could just not have older siblings, not really be close with their parents. So that gives them an option and someone to reach out to if they have any questions.
Wow, Lexi, you do a lot. So I'm going to ask you this question. How do you balance it all? What is the art of balancing it all for you? What does that look like?
It definitely can be hard at times, but I think a big part of it is just making sure you actually enjoy everything that you do. Because if you enjoy everything that you're doing, nothing's going to feel like it's work or a job or something like that, because you actually are enjoying what it is. So I feel like that plays a big role, that I actually like all the clubs and the sports that I do, because it makes everything fun and actually enjoyable for me to do.
That's awesome. You are an amazing young lady. So a lot of times when you get involved with things like that in the community, it gives you something back, right? So what's the give back for you?
I feel like it just really has made me feel like I can actually make a difference in the world that we're in. I feel like sometimes it's really hard because the world is so big and you feel like, just one small thing that I do isn't really making a difference. But I think all the things that I do kind of add up together, and I can see my personal impact that I've made in my high school and in my community, and shows me that when it does come time where I go to college or I go to just in a bigger world, that I really can have an impact on something. And it honestly starts from one small idea or one small thing.
You are an impactor.
Yeah, that's amazing, Lexi. I'm curious to know what's the next phase of your life. What's the next step in terms of, you've done so much already?
Yeah.
What do you plan on? What's the next step on the horizon for you?
So in college, I plan on majoring in nursing. So I feel like a big part of my life is just going to be giving back in from a medical standpoint and things like that. Mm-hmm. I also hope to continue working with special needs kids, because I feel like that's something new that I've kind of recently found, but something that I really do enjoy. And I feel like special education, things like that, is so important, because those kids can offer so much more to the world than what people may first see them as. And truly being able to understand where they're coming from and what they need is really important.
I tell you, Pam, the world is in a better place. We have people like this really articulating what's going on, because it gives me a great feeling to get the feedback from you and things that you're focusing on.
Right.
And I can understand why you was identified in this space, because you are definitely worthy of receiving this award.
Yeah, because you're more than just a cheerleader.
Yeah.
You're community, you're change agent. Community looks like her.
Yep.
the
Exactly.
future of our community
Yeah.
looks like Lexi Taylor.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So happy to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Take care.